The Belmopan City Council, under the leadership of former UDP Mayor Khalid Bilal, gave up a portion of the Isidoro Beaton Stadium's compound to a construction company in Belmopan. The portion of land that was transferred to the company was designated for the construction of a parking lot at the stadium. Details of the transaction were recently made public by Belmopan Area Representative Oscar Mira.
We had noticed that some work was being done on what we consider to be the parking lot for Isidoro Beaton Stadium. I reached out to the businessman who I believe had interest in it, and he said, no, I haven't gotten anything yet. But yes, indeed, I was interested and it was offered to me. I had a very long conversation, telling him that it is not right, that this is part of the Isidoro Beaton Stadium, that it should remain as part of Isidoro Beaton Stadium. However, a few months ago, we noticed, and as soon as the first container went on the site, I got so many calls from concerned citizens saying, Mr. Miro, they sell the piece of Isidoro because a container is going up. I made a call again, and this time the person removed the container. So I thought that probably, it was going to be okay. I continued doing some investigation. However, the last Friday when I was at the house meeting, I got so many calls and so many messages saying, listen, something is happening at the Isidoro Beaton. A house is going there, activity is happening, and I believe that indeed it has been sold.
Through the Lands Department, Mira uncovered transfer papers dated February 17, 2020, only weeks before the municipal elections. According to the documents, the council transferred just over half-acre of the stadium's property to Lems Construction Limited, a company that is owned by a well-known affiliate of the UDP. Former Mayor Bilal confirmed the transaction with News 5 via telephone, explaining that the transfer was made in lieu of cash for work the company did for the council.
You would need to go back a few years to when I first came to office at the Belmopan City Council. We had just completed the Ring Road rehabilitation project, and what had transpired during that project was when the shoulders of the Ring Road were scraped to make way for the pedestrian path and the bicycle path on opposite sides. The material that was taken from there was actually dumped on that vacant space to the east of the fenced-in stadium. And that's what I meant when we got there. So there were just piles and piles of dirt there, and it remained that way for some time. Of course, during the course of our administration, we weren't sitting around on our hands, and we were very aggressive in terms of trying to have infrastructural development pushed in Belmopan, which meant that we reached out to various contractors to do work on behalf of the city. One of those contractors had approached us in terms of looking at that land and expressing the interest in actually having the parking lot cleared off in terms of hauling off all of that material that was there and having us start the process of installing a proper parking lot there, which is basically the extent of the work that has been done up to now and that you can see at that location this very day. Consequently, having had that work done and then COVID striking us in my final year, at the beginning of my final year in office, of course the funds weren't there to cover a lot of the works that we had contracted out to be done on behalf of the city. And so that very same contractor came back to the council and suggested a land in lieu of payment option, considering the council's present then financial circumstances. And after looking at it and hearing out the proposal, that's what we decided to go with.
Mira expressed how deeply disturbed he is by the transaction, referring to it as unethical, while committing to recover the land.
I find this to be disturbing. I find this to be very unethical. Perhaps legally, he could have done it. But as part of the Isidoro Beaton Stadium, as part of the stadium that we call Belmopan stadium here in Belmopan. I cannot see how a mayor would sell that piece of property to an individual. I just cannot see. We find it very disturbing that a part of Isidoro Beaton Stadium, one of the two stadiums that are internationally accredited in the country, that something like this would happen. I joined the rest of the community of Belmopan and the citizens of Belmopan and the Belmopan football community in saying that we will not tolerate it. We'll do all we can to recover it. I'm sure it's going to cost us a lot of money to recover it, but we are going to make sure that we get back this piece of land that rightfully belongs to the citizens of Belize on a whole and more to the Belmopan citizens.
When we asked Belial about the backlash he is receiving as a result of this transaction, he told us that he finds it hard to apologize for pushing development in the city of Belmopan during his tenure at the council. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.